Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. Today I want to talk about something that I think is super fascinating about us as human beings, that things that we just constantly do. I stumble upon some people that don't do it this way, but I've come to realize we all are looking for the good that we see in everybody. We're selecting a work partner, we're selecting a relationship partner, we're selecting anything in this world. It seems that, almost anything. When you're even looking at buying a vehicle, buying a house, getting a dog, getting some clothes, you're looking at like all the good things in it. That's where your mind goes first, all the good things. Like, I like this, I like this, I like this about it, I like this about them, I like that about them. You're looking at all the things that you like. You're like, this is really nice, this is really pretty, this is really neat, this is really cool. But we rarely ever just up front stumble upon looking at the things that we don't like about it. Because in reality, I don't know what it is, but when I just look at some animals and I look at nature and I see stuff, it seems like it looks at the world opposite than we do. When we're looking for all the good stuff, nature's looking for all the bad stuff because it wants to know if it can deal with those bad things or not. Because a lot of times the good stuff, yeah, we can deal with the good stuff, but there might be some things in there that we don't really like. They could be a really, really pretty person, but they're kind of smelly when you come to figure out in the end. You're like, I could deal with the pretty stuff, I like that, but I don't like how they smell. I can't deal with that. That's something that I wouldn't be able to live with that person because of the way that they smell and the way that they do some things and the way that they cook, the way they clean up. I can't stand that. I like how clean everything is, but I can't stand how they do that process. It just irritates me. A lot of times we fail in everything that we do and run into situations where we stumble and fumble because we're not paying attention to the things that we just don't like. We're only paying attention to things that we really, really like a lot. And it just makes me really, really think a lot about the changes that we are all about today and what we do and how we're all about some stuff. That we're out here just constantly looking for good, gimme, fast, right here, right now. As opposed to what is going to be able to last the longest. What is going to be able to last the longest is being able to understand the things that you don't like and saying, are those things that I can deal with? Because I don't like it. And there's going to be all kinds of stuff that you don't like, but can you deal with it? And there's some things that are just we are unable to be able to deal with. There's some things that we are unable to just accept. That we can accept all those good things, but there's some stuff that just we can't accept this. And it's just, you might as well just see it up front, recognize it, pay attention to it, and just deal with that. And just walk away and move away. Because you're just like, I can't deal with that part. But yeah, we as a people, we push forward because we're just in reality looking at all those good things. And as that's a good thing, we really need to pay attention to both sides here. Because there's two sides to everything. It's not just one half of it. And I think that a lot of us are struggling today because we're only looking at one half of everything in life. We're not really looking at both sides. And we're assuming at the same time that everything, I'm going to only care about all the things that I really like about it. Because it can come down to a simple automobile. That a lot of people out here buy an automobile because of how it looks or how fast it is or anything like that. And you completely forget about the aspect of what's it going to cost me long term? What's the oil change is going to be like? What kind of gas do I have to put in it? Is this a diesel automobile because now my prices are even higher? Or do I have this, so I got to buy premium fuel and the prices are higher? Do I have to go to a specific place to get all my work done on it that I can't just easily do it myself because it's got this specialty tool and this specialty tool and they're $8,000 a tool and you're not going to buy that to do a simple oil change on your vehicle? That you're not paying attention to those things, the long-term situation. You're just paying attention to, ooh, it's fast, it's shiny, it looks cool, it's got a nice looking body on it. But the actual maintenance on it, you're just like, I got to get rid of this. As soon as the first one comes up, you got it, 10,000 miles later, you got to do your first maintenance, and you're just, I want to get rid of this. I don't want this. You didn't look at the long-term scenario. You just looked at it was cute, it was pretty, it was neat, it was fun, it was fast for now. And now what the long-term experience is going to be like. That I know a lot of people run into the situation like that. That you get it, and you're not really looking at the whole picture here. You're only looking at half of it. And when you're only looking at half of things, I'm telling you, you're going to struggle in the long term. The short term, yeah, things are going to look good, everything's going to be nice. But it's that long term that really starts to devastate us as human beings. Because we're going to be quick to get out of it. We're going to be quick to run away. Because we're like, I can't deal with that part of you. And I can't deal with that part of that. That you're just going to be quick to just give up on it, abandon it, run away from it. As opposed to something that I've definitely got into the automobile range of getting things that I shouldn't have gotten, but I'm a person that knows how to work on that, so I don't really care. And if I got to buy a tool, I'm going to buy a tool. But when it comes down to certain things that I look at today with what I do, especially say a simple automobile, I'm getting something that's going to work. something that's going to function, something that's going to get me there, something that's going to be able to check off everything that I need to be able to live a nice, easy, clean, happy, healthy life. Not something that's going to be flashy looking, not something that's going to get me there quick, but something that's going to actually be able to work for the long term. It may not look the way that I want it to look. It may not function 100% the way I want it to function. And it may not ride the way I like it to ride, but it's definitely going to be able to be something very, very good for me for the very, very long term. And I think that that's another major thing that we as a people just constantly are not really paying attention to, is realizing that that list that you have of wants and desires, you're not going to hit every single one. Can you hit most of it? Yeah. But even in reality, if you hit most of it, you may not have the long-term success that you really want. You're going to run into that situation where you're just like, I thought I liked it. I thought it checked off most of my likes, but I've come to realize it's got way more of these dislikes that I never even paid attention to. I never noticed. It can come down to trying to purchase a house. You just like got all the likes, you got all your wants, everything was on there, but you never made a list of what you wouldn't want in a house. You only put a list of what you wanted in a house. And then you start living in it for a couple of years, a couple of weeks, and you realize there's a whole bunch of these dislikes that now my next house, I'm going to make sure I look for these because I got these dislikes here and not only just these likes. And you got to pay very, very close attention to both. And a lot of times, I'm telling you, we're only making a list on one side of this. We're not looking at both sides. And it's something for me to just really make sure that more people are thinking about instead of just ignoring it and running away from it. Because if you want something that's going to be able to last you a long time, something that's going to be able to last you a very, very long time, this is something that I think a lot of us are missing and disappearing from today, especially when it comes down to relationships. It's we're looking for that list of everything to be right now, and not realizing that person, for one, you would hope, wish and pray that they're not going to be the same as they are the day that you met them, knowing that they are going to be changing. But you never really put on your list of where I would like to see the change to go. You're putting on the list, I want them to be this and stay at this. And that's going to set you up for failure. And at the same time, we're so quick to, I want what I want and make it work for now, that we're not looking at what's going to work for us later when we also change, that we're going to change into something. That today I need a specific person for this specific reason. But I hope to be able to get through this, past this, and move into somewhere completely different, that then if I have someone that's not able and capable and willing and wanting even to even get to that next level, that next point, then where are you? You're at a complete standstill. And a lot of times the person and the situation that you're in may not look and may not be exactly what it is that you think that you want for now. But you would know that it is going to be good for you for the 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years that you're going to be on this planet. And a lot of times we're not looking at that. We're just looking at I want the feel goods right here, and not really caring about how our future is going to be. And that's where I could say is a huge difference of how work everything was 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years ago. That we're more looking towards how is this going to be able to look for my future? How is this going to be able to look for the long term, as opposed to just here now? What is the retirement plan in this company? What is the hey Johnny? What is the benefits that I'm going to be getting from this? What kind of insurance I'm going to be able to get? What is the price of that insurance going to cost me? What is everything with that, with where you're working and how you're doing, with knowing what are you going to get in 40 to 50 years from now? Not what are you going to get right here, right now. And a lot of times, a lot of people, this is just a huge difference today. If everyone that's in their 50s, 60s, not everyone, but majority of people that are in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s today, they worked a job that was there for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And they're all living a pretty decent life today with having pensions and retirement that they paid into, and we're dedicated with doing that. And that's something that we don't do today anymore because we want it all right now instead. And that's going to set the majority of people today that's in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, and some in the 50s that are going to be in a very, very sticky situation because they're not thinking about the long terms. We're thinking about the just here. And that is, again, just looking at all the things that you like for now, not really paying attention to things that you don't like. Because a lot of times when we're not paying attention to things that we don't like, we're really just sabotaging our future. And at the same time, our right now, because we're not setting up for where we're going to be in the future. And that's just it's going to slow you down. It's going to really, really just slow you down. And that just works with a whole bunch of things out here that I would want more people to just start to really look at the whole picture of everything that you're doing. When you're out there at that car dealership looking for a vehicle, how about you think about how is this going to be able to work for me in 10 years? How is this going to be able to do for me? How is this going to be able to help me make my life easier each day and not be a hassle all the time? Not be oh my goodness, I got to put this in and do this to it to just keep it right, to keep it good, and having to deal with those issues later on. What are the things that you would not want in a vehicle? and really pay very close attention to that. What are the things that I would not want in a relationship? If I'm looking at this girl, I'm looking at this guy, and I'm going to say, I couldn't deal with this. Like, if you do something like this, I couldn't deal with it. Even though they check off 100 of your yeses. But they got that one thing that you're like, no, I can't handle that. That's something for me that I could say up front. You could check off 1,000 yeses. But if you say, I don't really believe in that Jesus, and I just can't follow along with that, that's like an instant, I could never do this. I don't care how many of the yeses you checked off in my life, that you're the greatest and the best and the most awesome in every single thing that I'm looking at. I'm like, wow, you I don't know how to say you like that perfect being, but you just don't like Jesus. I could never do it. It's a no. It's an instant no, no matter how many of the yeses that are there. And a lot of times we're running into stuff, seeing all these yeses and thinking that it's good to go without realizing and recognizing and paying attention to the things that you really just don't like. And we see that, I think that just the life that I've lived and the understanding of where we're at, we have that intuition of realizing that something's not right pretty soon, right off. But yeah, we push through that. We just drive through that. Like, no, see, there's all these good things, but we drive past that insecurity that hits us with, like, I don't know, something's not right here. Something doesn't seem right here. Something's going on that's just a little confusing right now, and I'm not able to figure it out. And that's what I would say is God, not you being a God, but God giving into you, communicating to you that something isn't right, that you need to really open your eyes up to see, is this going to be able to work out long? Because it's just a very unfortunate thing today that majority of people today are not making it just a long time together at all. And majority of people today are just giving up on the whole concept of actually being able to have the things that you want, the things that you desire, the things that you care about, the things that you really want to be able to care for. That you're happy with it for a little bit, and then you're quick to just run away from it and just give up really soon, because you start to recognize and realize those things that you didn't want. And then you find those things you didn't want, and then you add that to your list for the next person, then the next person, and the next thing, and the next item, and the next situation. You just keep going that route over and over and over. And then now you got a whole new list. And then you're going to finally have your list of, these are all the things that I want. And then you're still going to stumble, because you're always going to find that one thing in there in that list that's just like, that person, I can't deal with that. I just can't deal with that. It sounds silly. It's something I just said earlier about, I like that they're really, really clean, but I don't like how they do the process of. I don't like how they get that done. That could be something that could just irritate the all heck could be out of you for all of your life. That you can't, you know what it is, but you just can't deal with that. And you need to realize that, recognize that, and see that up front with any and everything out here. It's something that I just see that the animals just don't do. The animals test and push each other to the point of what I don't like, what I can't deal with, what I don't want to work with you with. And then they figure out what they do like and what they're cool about with each other. That's just what they do. When the cows meet, a new cow comes along, they're like, dude, you like eating grass? You like drinking water? Cool, I can hang out with you. But if you like going jumping fences and doing this, they don't want nothing to do with them. And then they're just going to separate themselves. So you're over there and we're over here. We're going to do what we're going to do over here. And it's something that everything out here does. But us as human beings, we're always just like, where's all the good stuff? And then the bad stuff is, that doesn't really matter. That's something that, to me, has really been able to change my life in a way, of being able to let me realize more about what it is that I should pursue and should get into, and not just looking at the upfront picture as it's just good to go and everything is wonderful about it, and realizing that there is as good as there's all these likes and all these checkpoints of what I'm looking for is in there. There's also a whole bunch on the other side, maybe not a whole bunch, but there's some on the other side that you got to really make sure and really take in and say, can I really deal with this? Can I really be able to handle this? Can I really be able to just make that work? I mean, it could be as simple as can be, as you really are into somebody and you just can't stand their brothers, you can't stand their mom, their dad, you can't stand nothing about none of them, but you're just like, this person is cool. And to me, saying something like that today, that's a huge issue that you should be running away from, because that means that person is doing and displaying something different to you than what it is they display about in front of their parents. And that's something that you need to run the heck away from. But that's not a conversation for today. But that's something that to really pay a lot of attention to, about what it is that you see that you just don't like, that you just don't care for. What are your like, I'm not going to get this if it's like this. And I can't have it no matter how much I really like it. You have to have those in your mind when you're out doing pretty much any and everything out here. When you're looking for a job, when you're looking for a place to live, when you're just looking for anything and everything, you got to have those things that you're just like, I can't live next to something like this. And no matter that house that comes up and you're just like, it's so perfect and so nice, the price is just right, everything is good. And then you realize you're going to stumble and fumble when you see that thing that's behind your house every single day. And it's going to make you hate where you're at. It's going to make you just despise everything about what you're doing. And it's just really going to bring you down. It's not going to be able to fulfill you. You're going to run, you're going to stumble because you're not going to enjoy what it is that you thought you actually did enjoy. That maybe getting something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit not so pretty, and a little bit not so awesome, a little bit further away is going to be a way better fit for you, because it's not going to have that one thing or those two things that you're just like, I just can't deal with that. I don't know how to deal with that. That's why for me, a TV show I used to watch back in the days, that those house hunters and those hunter house people things, that one person would be like, I don't want no stairs, and the other person would be like, I want stairs. And we're like, we're in a conflict right here. Like, there's no way that both of y'all are going to be able to be satisfied with the house, because both of y'all want something completely opposite, completely different. And that's something that can cause extreme division. As silly as that is, can cause extreme division within your household. That's why for me, like a number one requirement is being able to have a good understanding of knowing Jesus. You got that, you can pretty much get through and dance through any situation that's going on, because you're going to be able to compromise knowing that you're both on the same page with what you believe and what your desires are and what you want, that you're not going to have much of an issue. And that's where, for me, I just have learned and realized something much greater about this life the more that I've gotten closer to Jesus, as opposed to what it is that I used to do. Always out there just, say, being on my own and running a situation that I'm just fending and fighting and trying to be able to figure out my life and get all the right things and get all the wrong things and do everything just on my own and just stumbling and fumbling all the time. Where today I have something to be able to guide me, to be able to allow me to be able to realize what it is that I do need. And it may not be exactly what I want in that second, but it's something that I know that I do need. And I could take my feelings out of some things and say, I know I need to do that. Even though it's challenging, even though it's hard, even though it's not what I want right here, but I know in the future, in 10 years, 5 years, in 15, 20, 50 years, I know that that's what's going to be able to work for me. That's what's going to be able to give me what it is that I need. It could be something as simple as where I live right here now. You know, there was nothing near me when I got here. Now there's stores that are getting closer and stuff, but it wasn't what I wanted up front. I wanted to live somewhere where I could easily get to places. I could walk to a restaurant. I could walk to get food. Ain't no such thing about that, about being where I'm at right now. You not walking anywhere around here without going for a marathon, and you about to pass out by the time you get back. But it was what was going to be best for me for the long term. And I just realized that today, that I just have to deal with the suck up front and realize I don't know, to see the beauty of where it's getting me and going to continue to keep on pushing me in the future. And that's something that I would want more people to think about. Stop looking at all the things that you're like, you got to check off all your likes. But look at the things that you wouldn't want to be able to deal with. And that for sure is going to be able to help you live a more peaceful life on this planet. Instead of running into situations that you said you know you didn't want, but you got in it anyways, and then you come to realize, like, man, this is really, really challenging. I just don't know what to do. Like, you're gonna fumble into that a lot if you're just neglecting the things that you just like. I can't live with that. I can't do that, and you go into it anyways. And with that, I just want to say thank you for a very interesting day. I believe today is the Monday. I'm pretty sure it's Monday. I get lost in my day sometimes because I just be getting some stuff done. And that's one thing that I guess I could say is I greatly, very much so appreciate being able to be living a life like that. That the older you get, the faster your life moves. And that is a 100% fact. That, you know, I was talking to my daughter. She's talking about, I'm about to be 10 years old, and she's like, it's taking forever. And I'm like, this year is gone already. I've already lost a year, and you're looking to figure it out. So the younger you are, this seems like the world is taking forever. But the older you get, it's like, we're about to be in November already, people. And I just remember it was just January, and it's something about that is neat, but scary at the same time, because then you just know that the older and older I keep getting, the faster and faster it's just going to seem like it just keeps on cruising and going through. And that's why, for me, something that I'm very thankful for is, especially today, of just saying I want to be able to experience and be able to do much more and stop worrying. Because in reality, something I was thinking about today is the concept of things are only just going to continue to keep on getting worse around the world. And it's not going to get better. It's just going to keep getting worse. It's going to keep getting more scarier, more restrictions, and more just craziness. Because that's what the Bible states in reality, and that's just what it is. And since it's going that way, I want to be able to live and being able to do and be able to experience and be able to just do way more. That's going to actually be able to bring some joys to me. Instead of just doing the same old all the time over and over and just waking up, doing the same, so waking up, doing the stuff. I'm just going to experience and get into some things. And I'm just like, I wish I could have done this when I was 10 years old, and I'm just getting into it. I'm just going to try it out and just do it. Because we're not going to have another time, another chance to be able to do it. So you might as well just get in it now and just start to experience life and start to realize what it is that you do really want to be able to do on this planet. And you see the things that you don't like and just get the heck away from that. Start getting into the things that you do like. And because that's how you're going to be able to find what it is that your peace. You're going to find your peace that way, and realize that the only way you're going to be able to move forward is being able to move forward with something and somebody and something that's going to be able to give to you what you want to be able to see yourself as in the future, not what you want to see yourself as right here, right now. That stuff just goes away. And that's a concept that today I was just thinking a lot about. Storing up the treasures on the land. For what? You can't take it with you. So I'm just like, I want to be able to experience as much as I can and just have a blast. Be able to live this land and live in this world and be able to do some things in this world that is just absolutely incredible. Something about that just really humbled me today, of not worrying so much about how much you have, but worrying more about what it is that you're doing. And at the same time, especially worrying about what it is that you're doing and who you're sharing it with. Sometimes we're just sharing our experiences with ourselves, and we really want to be able to share it with somebody else. Thank you.